Like I'm 21, just starting to drink, and 22, I'm like ready to party. Now I have money. And I was doing any kind of party I could find. Like, is it in New Orleans? Is it in New York? Is it in Puerto Penasco, Mexico?
Yeah.
Like, and yes, I'll bring all my friends. Yes, I'll pay for all of you.
Okay.
Well, and then summer, it's great. You can afford it in the summer if you're stealing your cash flow.
Yeah.
But when winter hits and then you've realized you've burned up all the money and you still have obligations, it becomes problematic. And one of the things that I've learned is the things that made me stick my head in the sand when I was 21, 22, when everything started to disengage and discombobulate. And then again, I want to add one more piece into that is I went and looked for a partner. Like I thought, well, I'll franchise this out and I'll sell my Phoenix operation or Vegas operation, whatever, and I'll franchise this. I had no idea franchise on my heart. It was like, I'll sell you Frontiership Las Vegas or Phoenix, and then I'll just not have it. And then you just can have it and I'll make a little money off you.
Yeah.
I didn't know there's laws that are tied back into it. So another naivety piece. Well, I trusted the wrong guy. He bought into the shed place. He took the Phoenix operation. We sold it for a couple million. He'd given me a $20,000 check. In the meantime, highly religious dude from Ogden, trust, like I grown up in Centerville, like, oh, you're in the stake presidency, then of course it must be scriptural. Like you never break any rules and you're 100% honest.
Yeah.
Not the case. Anybody hiding behind their garments, and I'm not saying they're not, but if they advertise it, then you probably ought to check it. Within 2 weeks, he'd collected over $2 million from Home Depot, and he had opened a bank account at Zions Bank under, it was called the Old Frontier Shed Company. And my account at Zions Bank was Frontier Shed Company. Well, they took the check. And so just to kind of give you anybody that ever gets into this scenario, I should have just gone right back to the bank and said, hey, you deposit that in the wrong account. That's made to Frontier Shed Company, not Old Frontier Shed Company. Give me my money back. Well, I was scared. I didn't know that. So I went and found an attorney, and the attorney says, oh, dude, don't just go do that. Like, we could sue this guy. He's got lots of money. He was an Inc. Entrepreneur of the Year. Like, let's wring his neck. I'm like, okay. So he goes, we'll sue him for damages. We could probably get 10 million. Okay. So rather than doing something like, I was living in the rearview mirror thinking like, I'm going to get even, blah, blah, blah. Like we spend a lot of time there sometimes, like you wronged me. I'm going to make you pay the price. Yeah. That is so much wasted energy, right? Like if I would have just gone to the bank, got my money back and let bygones be bygones, guess what? It wouldn't have ever got here. So instead I decided I'll pay my attorney, 5, 10, 20,000 a month to fight this battle. In the meantime, he took 2 million out of my receivables, right? And then on top of that, I'm still trying to pay the wood that was paid for on top of all the customers that have paid D2C cash. Wow. And I'm like, holy crap, this is a bad deal. Well, I spent about 15 months paying my attorney and I just ran out of money and I just gave up. And here's the difference is when I say what made me fold back then is really a problem that lands across my desk every day. It's just, we're proactive with it. Like if we have bad news and this guy's going bankrupt or this is happening, I don't dwell. Like it's like, okay, well, whatever. Move on. Yeah. Are you going to sue? We have never sued anyone at Murphy Door, ever. We don't. I'm not chasing rearview mirror stuff. Yeah. Not that I won't. I just don't want to. And if there's other ways to do it, like how about this weird thing that you could do called communicate? It's really weird. Like we could just call and say, hey, by the way, I don't have any money, Brian. I can't pay you this week. I know that you thought you were getting paid Friday. I don't have it. I misspent the money and I'm really sorry, but I don't want you to go broke. And I'll call you every Friday and let you know if we're making any progress on your money. I couldn't do it. I was 22 years old and I'm just sticking my head in the sand because here's the other problem. I was so freaking prideful. It was really hard to have someone that was elder than me. And I don't mean elderly, but someone that's older and say, hey, here's some advice. I'm like, dude, you're freaking really? Have you ever made 20 million in a year? Like, how are you supposed to teach me anything? You don't even know anything. Yeah. I'm rich. You're not rich. I'm not listening to you. That was my attitude at 20, right? Or 22 years old. Like no one's going to teach me nothing. And even now at 50, I wish I had a tattoo on my forehead that said, I don't know, but I'll find out. I'll go learn and ask every single person that I possibly can their advice and how they would navigate it if it gets hard. Like, how do I, even if it comes down to have a hard conversation with you, now it's like, it's no big deal. Yeah. Like we don't have those problems. And thank goodness.
Okay. So you're 22, you get screwed over by this person that you looked up to in your life. You've made $20 million and you're broke. Bankrupt. You're actually broke. Like, are you in debt?
No, because I filed
0.
bankruptcy.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was in huge debt. I think I filed for 400,000.
Wow.
So at the time, that's a lot, especially when you're looking at jobs
Oh,
that are
yeah.
paying $750 an hour. You're like, ooh, I'm never going
Yeah.
to be able to do that. Go back to fire that pays $650 or whatever, $613. So at the time, again, because of pride, I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get the heck out of freaking Utah. Like, because everybody's judging me in my heart. Probably not for real.
Yeah.
But because I couldn't look at any of my friends that I took everywhere, they're like, oh, what a loser. He ran that place bankrupt. I knew he'd go bankrupt. What a loser, right? I get those comments from other 20-year-olds that never had tried or ever experienced what we'd experienced. So I decided I'm just going to get in my pickup and I'm going to leave and I'm just going to live in my car. So I was super suicidal, super depressed, super all those things. Like I attempted suicide on 2 different occasions.
Wow.
And I just thought, well, you know, I'm going to get out of here and I'm just going to go haul RVs. So that's what I did in the side. But you can't, the irony is you're hauling around a house, but you can't get in it because it's brand new RV. You're not going to be able to sleep and camp out. I thought you could when I first started. And then, the first trailer, I was like, dude, did you sleep in here? I'm like, yeah. Like, hey, you can't sleep in here. I'm like, oh crap. So like, what's wrong with that? Needless to say, learned really quick out the gate that you can't sleep in the RVs you're delivering. So it was just the backseat of my car. And so literally going from Flying J to Flying J is where I slept every night to park my trailer. And then I just showered at the Flying J's. But, you know, the first 6 months, I'd made the decision right into it. Like I can do anything hard because I'd just gone through something hard that I felt like I quit. And I was really mad at how I gave up. So then I thought, I'm going to do this for a year. And I set the objective for 1 year exactly to the day. And I know that's a weird thing to do, but it sucked. It truly sucked. You don't have a cell phone. You don't have any friends and you have inter-reflection.
Yeah.
And that is it. And
dark place to be.
It's the worst. And so 6 months of absolute hating yourself, living in your head about how bad you just embarrassed you, your family, all your friends, and how big of a dork you were, and how come you could have been so cocky, and how could you not listen to the people that you trusted? Why did you never ask your dad or your mom or your uncle, or what was wrong with you? Why were you so derogatory and demeaning to people that you love? Like this whole piece, like that Kubler-Ross cycle of, you know, bargain, denial, anger, bargaining, you know what I mean? That whole thing. I'm living this cycle.
You're doing that once an hour.
Once every hour at least. And so, you know, you lay down and you just freaking cry and you're like, why am I such a loser? And I wanted to go through it. As weird as that sounds, like I wanted to beat myself up. Like I wanted to get through the whole healing process of just brutal, like introspective, like I don't even know the right word, but whatever the word is, it's that one. The weird part is it was almost like 6 months on the day that everything flipped. And I was like, I realized after I'd gone through that whole healing process of hatred to me and myself and all the things that I'd done wrong and wronged people and all the things, I became my own best friend. And then I forgave myself. I'm like, look, dude, just this learning, and then I tried to say, what are all the things I learned? And then if I was to do it again, what could I do differently to make sure that I wouldn't ever do those same mistakes? And so I spent the next 6 months actually enjoying the heck out of it, driving all over the place to really just finding happiness in me, which was weird. And then after that, by the way, didn't really date during that period. And then I thought, you know, I don't even need to. I don't even need a friend because I don't know if I'm going to like anybody as much as I like myself, which is a really weird spot to be, by the way.
Not in a weird way.
And not in a weird way, but it's like I'm so at peace with who I am and my failures and stuff that whatever I do. And it was an awfully young age to try to learn. And I think the secret to life is the sooner you can not give two flying craps what anybody thinks about you, the sooner you can find happiness in yourself. Like if you're only trying to impress yourself and not care at all what anybody else thinks about you, and I mean sincerely care about yourself. I don't mean like not care about what other people think because you're being a dickhead and you just want everybody to not care. Like, screw you, I don't care. It's not that kind of I don't care what you think about me. It's like I'm just so confident with who I am that you can say I'm ugly and fat and a loser and bankrupt and broke, whatever. You can say all those things. I'm like, yeah, probably all of them. I am. I can be, for sure. I can be all those things, for sure.
but I love myself.
But I love it. And I'll tell you what, I'm so thankful that I went through those pieces that I highly encourage you to do it. Because then you won't have to come at me and judge me because you won't even have space.
Yeah.
You're going to be so busy understanding that we make mistakes and that those mistakes are what builds us, and what builds us makes us better. And then when we're better, we can help other people be better.